I have Michelle Rempel with me. She is a critic of citizenship and immigration for the Conservative Party of Canada. And recently, on 28th of January, people were eagerly waiting for a long time that they will submit their applications for parental, grandparental sponsorships, family class sponsorship. But in just few minutes, maybe not more than 4 or 5 minutes, all the vacancies were filled. So hundreds and thousands of people are still left. So they are not able to understand what should they do. They were waiting for last couple of years. They are fulfilling all the conditions to sponsor their parents, grandparents. But they're all now, I would say, in a situation of shock that what should they do. So even we are not able to understand that what should be the solution to this problem. So Michelle is already working on this issue for a long time. She's critic from her party for citizenship and immigration matters. So she's online with me. She's member of parliament from Calgary Nose Hill also. So we have already talked to her a couple of times. Michelle, welcome to Parvasi and good morning.
Thank you for having me, and I hope you're staying warm.
It's minus 30 with wind chill.
Oh.
And minus 18 is the temperature, and it's the coldest day in this winter season in Toronto. I believe you are in Ottawa, I believe. Eh?
I'm in Ottawa, yes. So we also got the snow.
What about Ottawa? What's the temperature over there?
I think it's about minus 15, so it's like beach weather compared to
little better than us. Okay, so on 28th we saw in few minutes, all the vacancies were gone, filled, and I'm getting calls from people. They are really frustrated. They don't know what to do now. So you have been criticizing these policies for a long time now. So what do you have to say on this?
Well, there's something that your listeners should know. So on the day that they opened up the parents and grandparents program, and it was closed, as you rightly said, it was closed within 5 minutes, and the door was slammed shut. The same day, the Liberals under Justin Trudeau allocated another $114 million. This is on top of the $1 billion they've already spent for illegal border crossers. So, when you look at the priorities, it's very clear. So they open up the parents-grandparents program, shut the door on parents and grandparents reunification, and then they allocate another $100 and some million, all of these resources to people entering the country illegally at Roxham Road. So there's an express lane for people illegally entering from the United States. They're already in the safety of upstate New York, but the door is shut on people's grandparents and parents, and that's wrong. So we're opposing that. The Conservative Party believes that we should have fairness in our immigration system. And the other thing that they're doing is, frankly, they're putting, this is the Liberals, they're putting a lot of falsehoods out about the program. So all the Liberals did was they said that they increased the number of applications. But they didn't really increase the number of spots available. And if you look, the number of spots that the Liberals have for parents and grandparents in terms of actual numbers of people that can come in on an annual basis, it's about the same as the Conservative Party. So to me, they've just lost all credibility on this file, and the Conservative Party feels very strongly that we need to fight back on this, that we shouldn't be prioritizing people illegally entering the country and putting all of that money behind it. We should be prioritizing people that are trying to legally enter the country, like parents and grandparents. So this is why I've raised this in the House of Commons. We're raising this against Justin Trudeau. We're starting petitions. We're going to be forcing the government to take accountability for this because it's unfair and it's wrong.
Okay, Michelle, but last time we had lottery system and many people were criticizing that too. That is not a fair system. So lottery system is not working. This system is not working. So what is the solution? What is the alternative then?
Well, first of all, we have to stop allowing all of the resources that the government is allocating to immigration processing, essentially, to go to Roxham Road. We have to stop that illegal border crossing crisis. And then from there, my party has actually rolled out a very comprehensive plan on how we would restore order and fairness to Canada's immigration system. And that includes, having a more transparent process on how we set immigration levels, ensuring that programs like parents and grandparents are prioritized over illegal border crossers. But at this point in time, I mean, I'll be very, very blunt. Justin Trudeau has had years to fix this. I think he's misled a lot of Canadians, and he showed that he can't do it. And he's shown where his priorities are, right? $114 billion for illegal border crossers, but the door shut in people's grandmothers' faces. It's wrong. So it's an election year. I think that people should get very upset about this. And I encourage people, write my office. I want to hear the stories of this so that I can present it on their behalf in the House of Commons.
Okay, so we have more than 150,000 people backlog right now.
I know.
And it's increasing, year after year. So we are not clear that what should they do. I mean, how many vacancies they should increase, number of, positions they should increase.
Absolutely.
Under this category. So again, I mean, coming back to the point, what is the solution? We are not able to understand. People are trying their best to fulfill all the conditions required for the sponsorship. I mean, they're paying taxes for continuously.
Exactly.
But again, what is the solution that we are not able to understand?
Well, so every year the government, you talked about the numbers of people, how many spots we should have, right? So every year the government is required to tell Canadians how many people enter the country under something called the Immigration Levels Plan. It's actually an act of Parliament. But the Conservative government's approach, like in our former government, we would always be very transparent. We would go and, for example, reach out to communities and say, okay, well, what's the demand? We talk to provincial governments about, how we support people in terms of resettlement services, all of those sorts of things, come up with a budget, and then set the level. Justin Trudeau has done none of that, right? So the step one on how to fix it is getting back to that principle, setting the numbers transparently in coordination with feedback with the provinces and groups in the community, right?
Okay.
The second component is, and I can't underscore this enough, we have to stop prioritizing people who are, have an express entry lane in through an illegal crossing, because all of the resources for processing, think about all of the resources that they're expending on that, how that could be used to fix the backlog, let's say, right? Like, what would have happened if they had put $1 billion to fixing the backlog in streams like parents and grandparents? It would have been a lot more efficient. So those are two really concrete solutions that are, I think, fairly low-hanging fruit or fairly easy to understand and implement, that the Conservative Party would stand behind and implement should we form government in 2019. I want to be very clear. We support immigration. Canada is a nation built on new Canadians. We stand on traditional territory of First Nations. But we need to make sure that we are helping people who are coming into the country the right way. And as you rightly said, so many people on this particular program had all their forms together, had all the proof, showed the ability to support people. They had everything ready, everything doing it the right way, and then the door slammed in their face. But the red carpet is rolled out for people entering the country illegally, and that's wrong.
Can we expect increase in the spots if Conservative Party come to the power or makes a government?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, Justin Trudeau, he came out during the election. He's like, I'm going to increase all of these spots. I'm going to do all of these things. And then what did he do? He failed to do that, right? I think the more responsible approach is what I just said. The Conservative Party of Canada, rather than treating numbers as an auction, right, where the government or a political party just comes out and rolls out numbers just to get votes and then does nothing about it, what I'm saying is the Conservative Party would work with communities transparently on an annual basis to set those targets so that people actually understood how many could come into the country under any particular program. And it's worth noting that Justin Trudeau has not increased the number of spots available under this program, even though he promised that he would. We need to clear these backlogs. We need to work with the community to make sure that we understand what the demand is, have processes in place, and be honest with Canadians. And that's what the Conservative Party would do.
Thank you, Michelle. I think this is the last session before the elections in October.
It is.
And we can expect, at least some relief for these people, even before the election. Maybe it's this election agenda or not. I'm not sure about that. And,
it absolutely should be.
Okay, and thank you so much. You are raising the voice of, all these people in the parliament on behalf of your party. being the critic, immigration critic. And thank you so much for talking to us, Michelle.
Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. और